This is life-changing, and you've already come so far. You've done such a great job to get to this point. It's been a lot of care and a lot of hard work. The journey to recovery is a long one. The process has been slow, and it will take some time for you to get to where you want to be. But with commitment, care, routine, and a little patience, you'll be back to enjoying life on your own terms. Your limb will swell and it will hurt, and that's because your body hasn't adjusted yet to how blood is entering and leaving your limb. Before your amputation, blood flowed into your limb and out by a complex system of interconnected arteries and veins. Now that system has changed, it has become more difficult for blood to leave your limb. Limited venous return means that the blood flows back out more slowly, and this causes swelling. Compression and elevation is how we keep the fluid back out, and for the first year or two, it is the key to controlling your limb pain and stability. It's important to keep compression on your limb at all times. When you're not wearing your prosthesis, wear your shrinker and keep your leg elevated. But we have to be careful, because the more pressure we apply to the limb, the more it will shrink, which can also cause pain. Luckily, we have ways to manage this balance to keep you and your limb both comfortable and functional. The first is to wear your shrinker. This places an even layer of pressure around your limb, helping to gently squeeze the blood back out. The second is by wearing and walking in the prosthetic itself. As you walk, the pressure of your limb pushing into the socket forces some of the blood out of your limb, causing it to shrink. But a lot of walking can cause your limb to shrink even more. When this happens, your limb, which is a little smaller now, sinks deeper into the socket. After a while, this can cause your socket to put too much pressure against your limb, resulting in painful, sore areas. This is where your prosthetic socks come in. You should have a set of numbered socks that are of different thicknesses. The higher the number, the thicker the sock. By adding one or more of these socks, your limb is slightly raised up in the socket, taking pressure off the end of your limb. In a way, the sock replaces the blood that was pushed out by taking up the empty space inside your socket. It is amazing how the addition of just one sock can make the difference between pain and comfort. Just be sure to pull the sock completely onto your liner, leaving the pin fully exposed. Otherwise, leaving a sock over part of the pin will cause it to get stuck in your socket. If this happens, it is no fun getting the prosthesis off. Because wearing your prosthesis will continue to cause your limb to shrink, you may need to add a second sock. There are a few clues you may need more socks before pain arrives. One is the pin clicks in too rapidly. Your limb should go in firm and steady. Another may be, but the foot seems to be rotating in or out. Well, the foot isn't rotating, your entire prosthesis is, because your limb has shrunk and the socket is too large to remain oriented properly. Finally, you may feel a dull pain at the end of your stump. Remember to add a sock for the cushioning and the support your limb needs. With practice, you'll begin to recognize your limb's changes during the day. As you wear and walk on your prosthesis, your limb will shrink. So what is comfortable at 9 a.m. will probably need a sock by 11. Wearing your prosthesis will make your limb sweat, so cleaning your liner is very important. Use warm water and clean the inside of your liner, making sure to completely wash off any soap that may be left on the liner. This can cause a skin reaction. Keeping a consistent routine is important to a successful fitting prosthesis. Whenever you remove your prosthesis, put your shrinker on to keep your limb from filling up with fluid and keep your limb elevated. Forgetting to do this may result in your limb being too large to don the prosthesis. If this happens, leave your liner on and keep your limb elevated. Wait 10 to 15 minutes, then see if your limb will fit in the prosthesis. Remember, except when showering, always keep compression on your limb either with a shrinker or liner or by wearing your prosthesis. If you overdo it and your limb is sore, you may have to stay off your limb for a day to allow it to heal. Take your time, be patient, and get into a routine. Nothing is going to stop you from doing the things you love.